Am I the unreasonable one for telling my uncles and aunts to STFU? I 19 years old female, used to be the skinniest in the family, and my BMI was also really low 15. It was really hard growing up because my family members would feed me everything to make me gain weight. But that wasn't working. They would also make fun of my weight and call me a stick. My mental health deteriorated cause they were putting me down every single time we meet. I used to skip/wear a hoodie to cover my bony arms and would wear baggy pants to cover my stick legs. After years and years of trying to find the best diet, I finally came across the perfect diet for my body. And I'm really proud of myself for putting on weight. My BMI is 21 now, and can finally enjoy the curves I've always wanted. So my relatives came over on Friday for some prayers, and they noticed that I have put on weight. My uncles and aunts were shocked, and straight up called me fat. They were like, "OMG, you're getting fat. You should control your calories intake." I was pissed. I mean, who wouldn't be? But I decided to not comment on it. During lunch, they commented on how ugly and fat I'm going to look if I keep eating. I had enough of it because when I was skinny, they wanted me to gain weight. But now that I've gained weight, they wanted me to lose weight. Like, make up your mind, people. I just started screaming at them to mind their own freaking business cause I didn't ask for their opinion. And I apologize for the following comment in advance, but I was mad, and I told them to shut the F up cause they're being very annoying when I'm trying to eat. My cousins Gen Z found this funny, but the older generation didn't. We are Indians, so bad words are a no-no. My parents are super mad at me for disrespecting my family. I'm honestly tired with this cause I'm finally feeling confident and in love with myself, but they're ruining it for me. So am I the a-hole here? Edit 1. I woke up to 100 plus messages and don't worry, I read every one of it. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, stranger, for the award. If anyone's curious about the diet, I watched these videos, and they helped. Link 1 in description. Link 2 in description. And I would also drink protein shakes. Hope you can get help through this. All the best, Smile. But it's not the same for everybody cause this helped me, but not my friend. Again, thank you everyone. Heart, heart. Not the unreasonable one. Tell your parents that when your family starts respecting you, you'll respect them. They're not giving you the common courtesy they'd give a stranger. Instead of blowing up in the future, next time they start in with these inappropriate comments, ask them why they think it's okay to comment on your weight. If they keep going, I'd say, yeah, I noticed you were putting on weight, too, but didn't want to seem rude in saying something. You might want to start watching your diet. You ate quite a lot last time I saw you. Maybe getting a dose of how it feels to have someone say that to them will snap them out of this habit. If all else fails, you can always say, I'm not interested in discussing my weight, thanks. And keep repeating until they finally get the message. Not the unreasonable one. Coming from an Asian family myself, so I can understand the stress caused from calling out your elders, let alone using F-word. It makes you feel guilty even though you know they deserved. They never showed you any respect themselves, but have the galls to ask for your kindness and respect, and sometimes even silence when they disrespect you. TBH, we feel like this because we were raised to feel guilty. Commenting on people's weight and body is incredibly rude. It's frustrating. And they made awful comments whether you are skinny or have a healthy BMI. They are DA big time for so long. Yes, using the F word against elders is not nice, but what they did is more than not nice, so maybe they should focus on their own behaviors. Am I the unreasonable one for not paying for my bisexual daughter's wedding? My husband and I have 2 children, Sarah, 35, and Samuel, 29. When both our kids got engaged, we gave them a choice. We would pay for a small wedding and give money towards a house, or we would pay for them to have a big wedding and nice honeymoon. My daughter Sarah got married at 22, her high school sweetheart. They took us up on the small wedding offered and were happily married for 8 years before our son-in-law passed away. After his passing, she announced that she was bisexual and that she was now dating a woman named Laura. Initially we were shocked and, admittedly, a bit disappointed, but after taking the time to get to know Laura we realized that she was a good person, great with our grandchildren, and made our daughter happy. They got engaged this Christmas and we couldn't be happier. We have accepted her into the family as one of our own. My son Samuel married a girl from church this January. When he got engaged they chose to have a big wedding as they already have a place to live. The wedding was a grand and quite a lovely event. While there, we were sitting with Sarah and Laura. Sarah started talking about how this time around, she would take us up on the big wedding. I asked her what she was talking about, and she referred to our deal. I told her that the deal was a one-time offer, and that we are done paying for weddings. She got very angry and accused my husband and I of being homophobic. She said if she was marrying another man, then we would happily pay for the wedding. This is not the case at all. And if our son were to remarry, we would tell him the same thing. We paid virtually the same amount for both of them to get started out and feel that we have done our part to be fair. Sarah and Laura ended up leaving early that night, and have been cold towards us ever since. I honestly feel like we have done nothing wrong, but need to know. Reddit, am I the unreasonable one? Nah, your daughter may have misunderstood, and the reasoning for her second wedding is not her fault. It's not like she's a serial divorcee. However, I understand that it may not be in your budget to pay for another wedding, as you have already graciously given her the money you had allocated. Why did you set up your story like this? Aren't you just asking, am I the unreasonable one for not paying for my daughter's second wedding? Am I the unreasonable one for refusing to accept my parents' apology? This is a throwaway account for various reasons. I am a long-time lurker, but I've never made a Reddit post before and I'm not very confident with my English, so I apologize for any mistake I might make. I, 24 years old female, am from an Asian country and a Muslim family. The incident happened around 5 years ago, when I was a 19-year-old university student. Thanks to Reddit and Twitter, I'm aware that it's very common in America for students to work while they're still in school and move out after university. However, it's seen as the parents' responsibility to support their children throughout school here, and it's expected for people to live with their parents until they get married. Even after they get married, my university was in a different city, so I was living in an apartment with a close friend. I was trying to visit my parents at least once a month. It was another regular visit when I woke up to my mom screaming at me. Turns out, she was cleaning our room. Me and my sister, 21F, shared a room, while I was asleep, and she found their package of a condom in the trash bin. Things got crazy from there. My mom was screaming at me for being a whore, and I was trying to explain that I had no idea where that came from and I was still a virgin. I was shocked and scared, because it's the biggest taboo around here and there are many people, well, many girls, killed for not being a virgin. I knew my parents were not that kind of people, but it was still a taboo. The argument got bigger, louder, and eventually my dad, who was asleep, woke up to the sound. It was a big mess and I can't remember every detail, but long story short, I got kicked out from the house. They blocked me on every possible social media, got rid of my stuff, stopped financially supporting me, and they never called me again. I was devastated, for so many reasons at once. I know it doesn't sound that way, but we were very close with my family. It wasn't a perfect family, but it was a happy one. And suddenly being kicked out for such a small reason broke me entirely. I was also a student trying to major at two things at once, meaning I didn't have time for anything, let alone a job. I was severely depressed for a very long time, but I somehow managed to graduate university and found a job to support myself. I am now 24 and living alone. Fast forward to a week ago. My sister finally graduated university and decided that it was time to confess to my parents that the condom was hers and not mine. I don't know how angry my parents were, but she still lives with them, so after hearing this they immediately contacted me to forgive me and apologize themselves. They told me to come back home. I obviously refused and blocked their numbers. It felt like the right thing at that moment. I didn't think so at first, but everyone around me, some friends, a coworker, sis, is calling me an a-hole for refusing their heartfelt apology. I need some unbiased opinions. Am I the unreasonable one here? Not the unreasonable one. Assalamu alaikum. Muslim sister here, most probably your neighbor. I hope you're doing okay. That crap sounds hella traumatizing. I'll pray for you, sis. You are never obliged to accept someone's apology, especially when they have no proofs to their statement and can't believe their own damn daughter. They are only apologizing cause they have been proven wrong after not having proof to prove themselves right. While you aren't obliged to accept the apology, it will take a huge while for you. You can't just accept an apology in a day when they didn't believe you for so many days and gave you hell for it. Crap girl, I wish the best for you. Edited. The fact that they went to those extents, like cutting off contact, getting rid of her stuff, etc., is completely haram. Even if you actually had sex, they had not one living proof that you did it yet hurt you to this extent and think an apology can fix things? No sis. Not at all that a-hole. Edited again. I commented this 4 hours ago. Yet, I cannot stop feeling bad for you. As a Muslim woman myself, that accusation hits hard, bro. Plus they made the situation such that even you cannot contact them in any way. What they did is so much bigger of a sin than what you were accused of. I genuinely was thinking about this even in the shower, sis. If I was in your place I'd have reacted so much differently than you. I'd block them too and never talk to them again. This is, I'm sorry sis, I'll just pray for you. Love you. Editing again. Thank you so much for all the awards and upvotes, song. I'm glad people feel the same and support OP. Wow, not the unreasonable one. They said they would forgive you? That's just incredible. Everyone who says you're an a-hole for refusing their apology are all wrong, wrong, wrong. Forgiveness belongs to the person who was hurt, not the ones who did the hurting. Your parents hurt you breathtakingly, no matter how heartfelt their apology. They can't erase the humiliation, the hurt, the confusion and betrayal, or the years of unhappiness and struggle that resulted from their cruelty. It was truly cruel. As the wounded person, you and you alone get to decide when or if you choose to forgive, and you do not owe them forgiveness, even if they grovel and weep and wear sackcloth and ashes. It's still your right, not theirs. I don't blame you one bit for refusing to come back home and blocking their numbers, and I wouldn't blame you if you never resumed contact. If you choose to, do so because you want it, not because they want it or you feel pressured. Am I the unreasonable one for not wanting my wife to eat grass? My mom invited my sister and I over for an announcement the other night and told us that she got married. I don't know him well enough to judge, but he seems like an ass because he laughed at my car and asked what I do for a living, that I drove that crap car. I actually met the guy once, but she never told me she had a boyfriend and they were together for 2 years, so I guess she doesn't give a crap about me. My wife is vegan and my mom never cooks special food, but usually has a side salad at dinner, so she just eats the salad. Well, all she made for dinner was some one-pot Greek dish with chicken in it and cooked in chicken brother, and there was no side salad. I asked my mom what my wife was supposed to eat and she got very upset and said she just got married. We're supposed to be happy, and the night is about her. My 5-year-old daughter actually told my mom that she is mean and my mom looked at me like I was supposed to do something. We sat down, but I was immediately uncomfortable. I told my mom that I wasn't going to eat in front of my wife and my brother-in-law said my wife should eat the grass. I could see how badly that hurt my wife, so I got up and said we were leaving. My mom said we are selfish because she got married and it is about her. As we were leaving I heard her husband say yeah, drive away in that car. My sister said that it was our mom's night and our chance to meet our stepdad and I should have sucked it up. Not the unreasonable one. Damn, that was rude of your mom, her new husband, and I'm glad you left. The 5-year-old knew it was bad. Not the unreasonable one. Your mom's new husband is an a-hole who can't even be bothered to try and make a good impression when announcing that he's joined your family. Your mom is an a-hole who doesn't give a crap about her guests when she hosts them, or about her new husband treating her guests like crap. Your sister's wrong. I would refuse to speak to them until they apologized, and then enjoy the long peace that results because they don't want to apologize. It sounds like you'd be better off DBH. Edited. Didn't mean to be insensitive to actual stepdads. Am I the unreasonable one for telling my son's girlfriend's parents that they are racist as F after promising not to swear? I met my son's girlfriend's family for the first time last night. My son is 20, but never grew out of that phase where everything I do embarrasses him. He gave his father and I ground rules for what we weren't allowed to say, and one of them was no swearing. I guess her parents were intimidated because of my husband's career and felt like they weren't good enough. Also, they are very religious, so he made me promise to behave. I was very nice for the first half of the evening. I'm biracial. My mother is from Argentina and my father is white. I guess I'm racially ambiguous looking because I have blue eyes, but besides that I look more Hispanic. They immediately commented on my eyes, which is fine, a lot of people do. At multiple points the father kept making comments about me being biracial and how lucky I am that I got the best of both sides. He then said if we have a granddaughter she's going to be gorgeous because my son is darker and will breed well with his daughter. The mom asked me what I do for work. I probably should have just said I don't work, but I told her I was a retired model. It's the truth, but I wish I didn't bring it up. She said I should be thankful because I was born with that and I just have an easy life. The father said something about my parents were smart to marry outside their own race because that's how you breed models. I told him that's racist as F, and now my son is angry because I promised not to swear and the second half of dinner was very uncomfortable. Also, I guess her mom cried and thinks I was judging her for being overweight, though that literally never came up. Not the unreasonable one. Their comments were completely inappropriate. And the dad's definitely racist. Who the F talks about their kids breeding well? Question mark. He clearly isn't mad about it, the swearing. He's mad at you for standing up for yourself against freaking racist because he wants to keep the peace and he can F off with that. Would I be the unreasonable one if I don't let my BFS brother's GF meet my baby? I'm sorry if the title is confusing, but I've been having problems with my BFS brother GF. Let's call her Stacy. Ever since I announced I'm pregnant, Stacy has been very mean towards me. She started talking behind my back to my BFS sister. His sister said some stuff she said didn't sit right with her, so she told me all Stacy has been saying. It turns out she is PCOS and she's upset that I'm pregnant, Because I didn't want kids until I met my BF. She told my BF's sister that she's been wanting a baby since she can remember, and I haven't wanted kids until about a year ago. She's been making me feel like I don't deserve to be pregnant. If I pee too often, she'll roll her eyes and tell my BF's sister she's not even that far along. She's being dramatic and peeing too much. She has said a lot more stuff that I'm not comfortable repeating. She has also been trying to get my BF's cousins to dislike me, so now about half of his cousins think I'm a terrible person who is bullying Stacy. I don't even talk to her anymore. I just don't feel comfortable letting someone who is making me feel bad about being pregnant meet my son. I'm sorry if it's confusing. I've never really talked about it to anyone. Would I be the unreasonable one if I didn't let her come into the hospital room to meet my baby? Also, for those asking, I haven't told my boyfriend because I'm scared of making the problem worse, but I think I'm going to talk to him about it today. I'm scared to tell his family because I have no family here, so I'm scared that they'll hate me if I say something. Not the unreasonable one. TBH, only ones need to be around baby in hospital is you and your BF. She should get some therapy to deal with burden of her infertility. You are not fault that she has that issue. Not the unreasonable one. I'd also be very direct with your BF and his family as to why. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more stories delivered to you. Thanks for listening. See you later.